Why the heck do people even care about revenue share? Why would real estate agents even pay attention to it, considering that you can make tens of thousands of dollars on one single transaction in real estate? But yet, revenue share, sometimes it's maybe $1,000 to $2,000 a year that you make off of recruiting people into a brokerage. Well, I'm going to break that down for you here in just a second because there is a logical reason why some people make it a priority in their business, or at least add it as a piece of their business that's very important. So I'm going to break that down for you, and it doesn't matter what brand it is, whether it's EXP, LPT, Real, you name it. This is why the math makes sense to pay some attention to revenue share. Now, I'll give you some details at the end of the video that will help you put this in context, because you may get super excited only to be let down based on the way that the models work, but I'll break that all down for you here in this super short video. Let's jump right into why the heck would a real estate agent even care about revenue share. All right, so before we jump in, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We're always giving you the best, most relevant information about all things real estate. And make sure that you share this video, like, and comment any of the thoughts that you have as you're watching this video. So as a reminder, Isaac Guzman with Real Estate CEOs. We are a massive group of organized partners that help real estate agents, team leaders, and brokers just like you grow their real estate business. Yeah, I'm the guy on all the videos, but I'm not the only person. I'm part of a really big group, over 1,000 of us already in the real estate CEOs group, and some of the most massively productive teams are part of that, and individual agents. So I always just like to remind people you're connected to a really big network when you're part of Real Estate CEOs. Okay, so jumping right into the math behind this. So it's not going to be too complex, just stick with me on this. And I have a whiteboard here, but it's just for really basic visual purposes. So here's the way I think about revenue share. Revenue share is not passive. I've said this in a video before. A lot of people say, oh, it's passive income. It's not passive. You have to maintain relationships with people. And last time I heard, or last time I checked, that is not a passive activity. Maintaining a relationship with my kids, my wife, my friends, anybody else that I know, colleagues, that's work. And so I would say that's not passive. The same way that you probably wouldn't say that if you manage a rental property yourself is not very passive. You have to still collect the rent, you have to maintain the relationships, make sure that everything's up to snuff. Right now, you can hand that over to a property management company to handle that, but you still got to deal with them. So I don't know if there's any real passive income out there. If you describe like, hey, I just make money while I sit around, you at least got to set up the systems. So I like to dispel the whole rumor of passive income, but it's mostly passive. It's what you might call leveraged income, meaning other people are out there doing something and you reap the benefit of that financially. Right? So in revenue share, the way that it works is you bring in a real estate agent into a company, let's call it LPT Realty, and every time they sell a house and pay the brokerage a commission, the brokerage turns around and says, well, thank you so much, Isaac, for bringing in this other agent and helping us make more money as a company and build the revenue up. So we're going to pay a portion of what they paid to us back to you. So it doesn't come out of the agent's commission, it comes out of the company's portion of the commission. Well, here's the thing. As that starts scaling, it's pretty awesome. You might meet a team out in another state and they're out there selling, a couple dozen houses a month through different agents, and now you're receiving portions of that commission that the company was paid. That's leveraged income for sure. So what's another thing? Well, rental properties. So I own some rental properties, and that's kind of the way I think about it. So here's why revenue share is actually a super cool thing when you think about it this way. Like I said, I promise that at the end I'll tell you a little bit about why, like, hey, don't go out and start doing this right away unless you have these things in place. I'll get to that in just a second. But let's talk about this real quickly. So let's say I wanted to build some kind of leveraged income, and I'm looking at two options: buying a rental property or building rev share. By the way, disclaimer, I use my money as much as I can to buy rental properties. So stick with me on this. But anyways, let's say you're going to do that. Okay, let's say in your marketplace it's $400,000 purchase price, right? Or to purchase a property. Well, that's a $400,000 asset you're going to buy. If it's going to be an investment from day one, the minimum you're probably putting down is 20%. Most of the time right now you're looking at 25 to 30%. So let's call it 25%. So if you're putting down 25% of $400,000, that's $100,000. So let's say you can rent this thing out for $2,500 a month. Okay, so that's a $400,000 asset. You put $100,000 down, you're getting $2,500 a month in rental income. Now, right now, based on the rates, just using like real basic mortgage calculator stuff, you're looking at a mortgage of about $2,150. So now you're cash flowing $350 a month. Pretty cool. So let's look at that. It took me $100,000, but I'm getting in cash flow. So now I have cash flow of $350 a month. It took $100,000 to invest and buy that asset. Pretty cool, not a bad thing. If you can cash flow a rental property $350 a month, pretty good asset to have, right? And so having that leveraged income of $350 a month is pretty great. Now, let's compare that to your average revenue share company. So let's say that I wanted to get $350 a month in revenue share to have that leveraged income. Here's what that might look like. So believe it or not, think about it this way. I'm just going to use LPT's numbers because that's the one I know the best. Believe it or not, what that would require is recruiting 2 full cappers on the rev share program, meaning they're at 80/20 and a 15K cap, and 1 business builder. So that's the person who's on the business builder plan where they pay $500 per transaction, capped out $5,000, right? So I just wanted to build a blend because not everybody's going to recruit a full capper that goes on revenue share plan, and not everyone's only going to recruit business builders. If you were able to do that, you'd actually be able to get $5,425 a year, which broken down monthly is $452. More than that, right? Now, let's say I went ahead and did just business builders. Those are the people on the $500 per transaction plan capped at $5,000. It would take me 6 to get $388 monthly. Now, I'm not saying every single month you would get that exact amount, but it would total to that amount per year, right? Just a quick disclaimer there. So that's 6 people that you can go up to and say, at least at LPT, hey, would you like to join a brokerage where you can save a lot of money and reinvest by having a $5,000 cap? And by the way, you get free marketing every single time you take a listing, and there's no sign up fee and no monthly fee. Do you think you could do that with 6 people? Probably. And so what's interesting is you have to think about what it took to earn this leveraged income. It took $100,000 to earn $350 a month versus having, I don't know, I'm overshooting here, by the way, maybe 30 conversations to get 6 people to take it serious and actually make the move to LPT. Right now, here's the caveat. They would all have to actually sell at least 10 homes a year, right, to actually hit that full $5,000 cap for the year. But also, who knows? You might be able to find 10 of them that pay half of it, or 12 of them that pay half of it, right? So the math works out that way. But here's the other thing too. This $100,000 is not just $100,000. That $100,000 is money you have after taxes, right? So if you're in, I don't know, call it a 30% tax bracket, you'd have had to earn more than over $140,000. By the way, that's just taxes, not to include like food and rent and car payments and all this other stuff that you might have in your life, like most of us do. We like to eat food and have water running and electricity in our house. You'd have to earn in the range of like $200,000 a year, keep your expenses really, really low to have the $100,000 post-tax, post-expenses to be able to purchase the real estate asset that then gets you $350 in leveraged income in a month. Now, I know what you're probably thinking for a lot of mathematicians out there. Isaac, but then I'm building up equity in this asset. You're totally right. I'm just trying to compare it to something that's super easy to understand that you might also consider leveraged income. I do believe that what you should do in an ideal world is that you would earn a lot of money. You would take that money and go buy rental properties, right? I absolutely believe that. But I also believe that you can earn some of that money to buy rental properties doing recruiting and building revenue share, right? And now here's what I meant by at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you when you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this if you aren't crushing it in real estate already. You shouldn't make it a main focus. I'm not saying you shouldn't attract people to your brokerage. I'm not saying you shouldn't think about who you would want to work with. I'm not saying you shouldn't bring people over and even pay attention to revenue share. But what I am saying is put real estate first. That's one of the main reasons I'm at LPT Realty. There are other places where I can build a YouTube channel and share with people how I can help them grow their real estate business if they partner with me at the brokerage. I can 100% do that at other places that might even pay me more. But here's the thing. If you're focused on real estate, that other part becomes easy. Actually, both of these scenarios become easier because the more real estate you sell, the more likely you are to bump into an opportunity where you can buy a cash flow positive property. right? You can find off-market deals. You can find deals if you're out there working with sellers and trying to find homeowners that are interested in selling. Well, why wouldn't you pick up some of those for yourself? Right? That's a really important thing. So the more productive you are, the more opportunities you have, more at-bats you have for investments, right? And in addition to that, the more real estate you sell, the more attractive you are and the more likely you are to bring people into your brokerage that provides you with revenue share. Here's the real kicker. Get focused on your real estate business. Now, if you want to learn more about how to partner up with me to grow your real estate business and then be able to participate in these other things that production unlocks, make sure you go into the description below and click that link to book one-on-one time with me and my partners. We'll walk you through what it would look like to partner with us on your business to earn things like revenue share, but it just all starts with selling more real estate. And that's what we're truly here to help with. So check out our other videos to make sure that we're legit and we're telling you exactly what you can do to grow your business. And again, until next time, happy selling.